everyone, welcome back to me again. I am Anisroma Hidayati, so welcome back to me again, and in this day I have the new material. The material is about the current teaching methodology in vocabulary. Okay, do you know what the meaning of the teaching methodology in vocabulary? So check it out. Okay, before I explain about the teaching methodology in a vocabulary, so I am Anisroma Hidayati. I come from class G and semester 6. Okay, and the table of content in the teaching methodology and vocabularies, it is there are four. The number one is about introduction, GLT, basic meaning of current teaching methodology and vocabularies, and then in the next day is and the next day in about the vocabularies, what the meaning of vocabularies, and then what will explain about the vocabularies, and then some more. And the next is strategy, how to teaching using good techniques when we are teaching vocabularies. And the last is practice. And about the CLT, so we must know about how to practice the good vocabulary in the front of a student, and then we have the good strategy, and then we have the good strategy to teaching our student. It is okay. Next. Okay, it is vocabulary. It is from Smith and then Hat and then Brown. It is vocabulary is more than just individual words working spiritedly in a discourse environment. Rather, once word or place in discourse, they establish numerous links beyond the single orthographic word level. This is about vocabularies. Okay, next. So, vocabularies is important in order to understand English. It is from Nuna Insurniati 2006 that one of important part in the acquisition of the second language is the development of rich vocabularies. Okay, the importance of vocabularies, if you want to study it, if you want to study it or teach vocabularies, so the vocabularies is the basic knowledge if you want to speak English, and actually because in vocabularies is the crucial or the basic knowledge if you want to speak, you want to write, it is word grammar and some more. Vocabularies is important to students. It's more important than grammar for communication purpose, particularly in the early stage when the students are motivated to learn the basic word they need to get in language. So, and this is the first knowledge and the first knowledge or basic if you want to speak English. Yes, from this I think this is important if you want to teaching or you want to learn about vocabularies. Okay, next. And from furthermore, University Lesson Anderson 2001 classify vocabulary in four types. There are number one is listening vocabularies, and then speaking vocabularies, and reading vocabularies, writing vocabularies, and then vocal vocabularies. So this is classified about the vocabularies. There's listening, speaking, reading, writing, and vocabularies. Next, according to Rajatina, so there are two kinds of vocabularies. The number one is productive vocabularies. This is the something called active vocabularies, the word that a speaker actually uses in every day. Productive vocabularies that they always use in daily activity and is often used in the word, and then yes, at least we must know, and at least we must say this as vocabularies. And number two is acceptive vocabularies, sometimes called passive vocabularies, where that people understand when he hears or read them but does not use in his own speech. So this is not the formal vocabularies, but we know and we should know about the passive vocabularies, because the passive vocabularies is always used in the article or in essay or maybe in the formal essay and then so more. So we must know two kinds. This is passive and active vocabularies. Okay, next. The factor influence on vocabularies. It is there are six. The number one is similarity to one. The difficulty of vocabularies item often depends on how similar items are in the form and meaning to the student's first language. Number two, similarity to English word already known. Students have some English word which is related to an English word they are already familiar with is easier than one which is not. And the next is connection. Learning how to grips with is the connection to the word. And next, spelling and pronunciation. The spelling of many English words can cause the problem for students who speak language with very regular system, particularly pattern can also cause confusion where the pronunciation is concerned. Next, multi-word item. In a lexical item may consist of more than one word as in compound noun or phrasal verb. And the last, collocation and appropriate. The way some grammatical structure are formed depends on knowing which word go with other and which do not. Next, and the strategy. This is how the special strategy if you want to teach in the vocabularies in this millennials area. There is a different student than before and the last year or so, and there is special because in this is there is a digital item and digital support and so more. So in this there is some strategy if you want to teach your vocabularies. The learning vocabularies is a complex process. The student aim to be rich in learning vocabulary is primarily their ability to recall the word at will and to recognize it is spoken and writing form. The role of vocabularies and learning foreign language is inevitable. Rich vocabulary will today totally help students mastering English, and it is for major skill which cover listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The importance is proven by Tanan Huan and Titunen 2003 in Rohan April 2013, who define vocabulary as a language element that links the four language skills, including listening, speaking, writing, and reading in learning a foreign language. Okay, and the next is methodology. Methodology, there are two about the methodology. The number one is the effectiveness of the picture crossed with puzzle game in teaching vocabularies. This is one of strategy if you want to teaching vocabularies with other games on this other strategy. If yes, it is very well, other fun and so more. And the next is the concept of film. Yes, maybe and there are the film English in the television and the YouTuber or in media social and so more. So there is the concept of film because in the film there is the action, there is the communication with other people like this different accents, maybe from American, British, Australian, and then every people there is the accent by themselves. Yes. And then if you want to speak in English, it's more the concept of vocabularies and there is a bit unique vocabularies and then didn't know or unmeaning of vocabularies in the concept film. Maybe we can read and then yes, we can writing and then we will look for what the meaning and then what the meaning and what the purpose, why the actor use these vocabularies. Okay, practice. So in the last is we want to practice together about the effectiveness of picture, the crossword puzzle game in teaching vocabularies. It is the route to write. It is number one is teaching using game is one of the many ways to make the learning process more effective and interesting. Some teachers think that language games are waste of time and prefer not to use them in the classroom, since games sometimes have been considered only for its one element, then it's fun. On the other hand, and then so the puzzle activities, it is your puzzle, and it's maybe we arrange some of the words, some of the sentences, and I think this may improve our vocabularies. Okay, next. The concept of the film. film is termed that combines individual motion picture. The field of film as an form and the motivation picture industry. Film are produced by recording image from the world with cameras or by creating image using animation technique or spatial. In language learning, film is one of audiovisual material from a video. So many students and many people is pure using the concept of film because they from film is they know actor, maybe make it interest, make it refresh their brain, add some more. So the concept of film is pure from humanity. Okay, the concept of film is there is subtitle and then the story in a film. The subtitle in a textual version of the dialogue in a film television programs usually display of the bottom of the screen. And the next is the story film is story in the film is story in narrative structure room. Around the turn of the 20th century, film began developing a narrative structure by turning scan together to the narrative. It means in order to understand the story in the film, students how to know narrative and the structure of the narrative. Okay, thank you very much. This is presentation about the methodology teaching and the vocabularies. So if there is question, maybe if you're confused about this material, so you can check me. And thank you very much the last for me. So don't forget to like and subscribe. See you. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.